Welcome back, people, to...
Hey, everybody.
What?
I said
What
hey.
happened? I don't know. I'm confused. I'm scared. Don't hug me. Don't touch me.
Don't be scared. Welcome back to the Metal Gear Recollection. This is episode 2 of Metal Gear Solid 3, the first game in the series, chronologically. And we're dumping through a forest, trying to get our bro. We're gonna touch him, but first we gotta look around at stuff. Man, he's got pretty eyes. I hope nothing happens to those eyes over the course of the video game.
Either.
Yeah. Oh my god, there's a dude.
There is a dude. There was a dude.
There is a dude.
What?
So the interesting thing about this game, and it gets explained a little bit later, and it's not really a spoiler because it's not really story relevant, but there is an interesting little not really civil war, but an interesting little clash going on while you're here between the KGB and the Spetsnaz.
That's the same thing.
What?
Spetsnaz is KGB.
Okay, is it the GRU I'm thinking of? Which one is it?
No, it's you're right in the sense it's between the Spetsnaz and a rogue group of Spetsnaz.
Yeah, who support a different leader in
This game.
the Russia town.
Yeah, we'll see him later. But yeah, it's GRU. It's basically KGB versus KGB.
Well, I'm referring more to Brezhnev.
Oh.
Because they support Brezhnev versus Khrushchev, who is currently in. Oh man, they're showing me getting shot at and then running. Did you see him run around in the circle?
Yes.
So fucking stupid. I love it. It's like they watched our LP. It's like they. God damn it. Oh, that's amazing. Look, he's naked.
Ew. Gross.
He is. He's wearing a. You can be naked in Metal Gear Solid 5. It's pretty great.
Yeah, it's basically Spetsnaz GRU versus Spetsnaz GRU.
Yeah, it's only really relevant to this story, because the Russians are kind of a running. I wouldn't say a running gag, but a running theme throughout the Metal Gear
Would
series.
you say they were a
it's
rushing gag?
God damn it. Get out of my house. Oh shit, that was not what I meant to do. I meant to go down into the...
Go down and into
no,
the
I'm going
hole.
Backwards. There we go. I want to grab this bug juice.
Damp hole.
So,
yes.
This game... all the other games have some sort of marking system, or there we go. They have some sort of marking system or some sort of radar system that allows you to see enemy fields of movement and everything like that. However, this game does not. It does have a very rudimentary version of it, which it's 1960. You don't exactly have, a handheld fucking radar.
Right. You have a handheld mic, though.
So you do have a handheld mic, which comes in very handy in finding enemies, which you then have to remember where the fuck they are based on looking at them.
So what you're telling me is
Let's
you
go
actually
with
have to do
TPM
some
for
work
this.
when you play this game.
Yes, you actually have to do some work. You have to pay attention to your surroundings, and I really like that from a video game standpoint.
so do I.
Because you could Rambo through this entire game, and there's special animations and blah blah blah.
And people will still refer to you as the stealth legend.
Yes, they're like, look, no one in Russia knows you're here. You're like, I killed 450 people on the way here. There's hundreds of dead bodies, blah blah blah.
Pretty sure you guys called in a couple of threats and attacks.
But this is a sneaking mission. And that brings up, or what I'm about to do here, brings up another point that I would like to make before the beginning of this series really gets off. And that is the play style here. Because in Metal Gear 2 and Metal Gear Solid, your only non-lethal option is just not running into people and not killing them. Like technically you can
Who was that?
Shit.
Oh shit.
There's a bad call. Crap battle. Anyways, where was I going with this? So you can play through the entire game, tranquilizing people non-lethally, not killing people. However, in terms of the canon, that's not really appropriate. because in the canon, Snake and all the other iterations of Snake that we will play throughout the course of this game killed a ton of people. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to go out of my way to hate murder my way through this region of Asia. I like putting hate in front of words like that because I think it's funny.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go out of my way to hate murder people. However, if I need to, I will kill people. Look at that big, goofy, dumbass smile.
First time he smiles.
So just to set a precedent before the game begins, this is not a non-lethal run. This is not a
perfect run. This is not a speed run. This is not a kill everybody run. This is you'll play the way you want to play a run.
That is correct. This is more. Not even I'll play how I want to play run. This is more of a. This is kind of how it would go down in reality run.
Oh, okay.
Because you're not gonna be, if you're in Russia, you're not gonna have your Mark 22 hush puppy and never, kill anybody.
Right.
If you have to survive, you're gonna kill somebody or at least attempt to. Okay, there we go. Fall off.
And another thing, the whole thing about the suppressor dying off is completely bullshit.
Yes, it's completely. Obviously, it's from a gameplay
mechanic. They have to put something in there.
Correct, because it is extremely powerful having a suppressed weapon in this game. And usually in these games, you only get one suppressed weapon.
Usually.
When you get into later games like Metal Gear Solid 5, etc., where's the other guy? No, there's still a guy around here.
Get in the grass!
I want to find him. Okay, so he's not over there. Shit. He's probably coming in from over there. So we're gonna see, because they all ran off from the bees. The bees are in.
No, not the bees!
Not the bees! You're gonna get a lot of that in this game. There's a bee man, and shit, that's kind of a spoiler, but there's a bee man.
Shit.
And there's bees in your eyes, but we'll get into that because this game sets a great precedent for crazy bullshit boss battles that you will get throughout the game. Because this is a fucking video game. And it's a video game full of crazy video game moments and boss battles and blah, 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 blah.
Do you think... Now, it's a serious question. Do you think we'll be able to see Gregory again?
I intend to see Gregory.
Yes!
Gregory, for those you don't know...
Not a spoiler, by the way.
Watch our other LP. Gregory is a fun little weapon that may or may not have gotten permanently attached to us in our previous LP. And he followed us, and he was there with us, and he held our hand.
He was there with us.
He carried us.
It was a journey.
He carried us. Yes. Yes.
It was such a
Gregory and I were walking on the beach, and I looked down in the sand, and I looked at the times when we were having good times, and there were two sets of footprints in the sand when all the good times were there.
God.
And there was only one set of footprints during all the bad times. And we turned to Gregory. And said, Gregory, why is it that I've only seen you walking with me? Why is it there's only two sets of footprints during the good times, and there's only my footprints during the bad times? And Gregory said, holy shit, Tony, your play style is giving me cancer. Why the fuck are you subjecting me to this?
That was good. That was going anywhere I thought it was going to go.
I'm really glad that you enjoyed that, sir.
It was good. That was really good.
Well,
I choke on my water.
It's just his imagination, and I don't know if I actually shot him. Let's see.
Shoot the barrel. Do it.
So I could be shooting these guys in the face and everything like that, but...
Fuck it.
Yeah. I'm not overly concerned with getting all these guys at once. However, there we go. That guy's down. That guy's down.
He ain't about that life.
The other guy's gonna... Oh,
Oh.
I gotta get
Run.
used to the...
Goddamn failed controls sometimes.
Let's see. Go back to the new controls. This is the subsistence version of this game. The original game only had one camera that you could kind of move around like this. Shit, he's getting the other guy up over there. So let's really quickly move him out of the line of sight of everybody else. In the interest of recording properly, by the way, hey, look, it's a Keratin over there. Anyways, in the interest of recording this properly, since my setup is absolute utter dog shit, the way I have my the way I have my setup right now, I can't fucking hear anything. So if shit goes down that I need to hear, I'm not going to be able to hear it. So that may degrade play quality. I hope that is not, in fact, the case.
God, no.
Just a warning for all of yous peoples out there.
Yous
guys who's out there watching the videos.
Take the cannoli.
Okay, there's a guy up there, and there's a guy who just walked.
Give him the cannoli.
There.
Do it. Stuff him full of cream stuffing.
This is slightly okay. Good. Hold still.
Bow.
There we go. He's down. The other guy.
Where'd he go?
He's still there.
No.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Blah.
Okay, he's down. Alright, so the guy we need to get is in here. Sokolov, the weapons development guy.
Sokolov.
Let's see, is there anybody else? I feel like there's one more
Fuck
guy. At least one more guy wandering around here. And I do not know where he is. Is he in there? No, so we're good. We got through there. We got through there scot-free the first time. So this is setting a good precedent for the LP. I might actually be able to be stealthy, super CIA covert ops spy man. I might get to slap a woman in the mouth like Sean Connery.
You know,
have you ever seen the Sean Connery quote? Have you ever seen the Sean Connery quote where he's basically saying, "Okay, no, it's not sexist to slap your woman in the mouth every now and then to keep her in line."
You gotta remember though, he was back from the time when that was like not looked down upon.
Yeah, he's an old school Scotch badass motherfucker with no hair who's like, "These fucking women, you gotta keep them in line for harvest."
Oh my god, can't believe you said that.
Right?
Oh, hey, guess what?
What's up?
This goes completely different. This is not related to MSG.
MSG?
Model Studio Glutamate? What?
This is not related to the McDonald's food? Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
There's a theory out there that every 007 agent either goes until he dies or he dies and gets replaced.
Yes, James Bond is a code name.
So there's a theory out there that the movie The Rock is what happened after he got dismissed, because he hadn't died. He just got dismissed.
Yep. Which is super cool, and I love it, because since we're talking about spy shit. However, that's disproven in Skyfall. Which, have you seen Skyfall?
I have not, that's why I mentioned it.
Okay, in Skyfall, they go to the Bond Castle, or the Bond Manor in Scotland to hide from a dude. They go there to hide from the guy from No Country for Old Men, who basically plays the guy from No Country for Old Men in the fucking movie.
The one role he's good at.
It's fucking great. The movie's kind of...
The movie's kind of eh.
Yeah, but not No Country for Old Men, Skyfall. Skyfall is No Country for Old Men is a tense, thrilling, awesome movie about a guy with a weird suction device and a shotgun with a silencer on it. That prompted a pedophile from Louisiana with a reality show to make a silenced shotgun.
Oh, Red Jacket, you pieces of shit.
Wasn't he? Yeah, that was the pedophile thing, right?
Yep.
I couldn't remember if it was pedophile or just raping underage girls. I mean, that's all fucking bullshit.
He went all Jared Fogle on everybody.
Yeah, he went super Jared. Speaking of Jared, this guy here, we're talking about the Russians and the opposing forces with Russia here. So this guy right here, this guy we're seeing right here, you're gonna see a lot more of this guy.
What was his name?
This guy's a big fucking deal. Don't worry about it. Actually, I think they already said it. His name is Volgin.
Ouch.
It's like Sergei Ivanovich No, Ivanovich is the other guy, which we'll talk about later. No, it's like it's fucking Volgin. Fuck it. He's only got one name. He's kind of one-dimensional. Except
not.
Yeah. Yeah. He's actually three-dimensional since this game takes place in 3 dimensions. Oh, by the way, there's just some guys who are just asleep outside, and we're just hanging around just shooting the shit. Because spy movie.
Talking all loud and shit.
Yeah.
Because, like, no one gives a fuck.
So, by the end of the game, by the end of the series, by the end of Metal Gear Solid 4, many, many months from now, when we get to that point, all the crazy plot threads will be tied together, and there will only be maybe 1 or 2 huge plot holes that we're going to have to try and explain through liberal use of the wiki. But
liberal use.
These games just kind of, when they came out, they threw plot twists in there that that caused problems for the development of later games. And I'll use this game as case in point because this is Metal Gear Solid 3. However, this game came out after Metal Gear Solid 2, which takes place in 2009. And my opinion on that, because some of the plot twists and some of the shit that goes on in that game is so fucking ludicrous that it's my opinion that Kojima wrote himself into a corner, and in order to explain away half the shit he put into that game, he had to go back to the very beginning of the series. And since we're playing this chronologically, you won't see that too much. However, I will point out that if you look at these games in the order they were released, it is baffling that some of this stuff ends up making sense by the end of the series.
Yeah. Some of the predictions, too.
Right? And after Metal Gear Solid 5 came out, I listened to Two Best Friends Play, a Let's Play group that I watch. They did a spoiler cast talking about the Metal Gear series as a whole, and they brought in Super Bunny Hop was the guy who was reporting on the Kojima situation, and Konami got his YouTube channel banned, and a couple other people. And they brought up the point, which was a really good point, and they were basically saying that Kojima, the guy who basically the father and the guide of this entire game, this entire series, is a master of making it up as he goes along.
Huh.
Which is a very interesting point, which if you think about it, by the end of oh hey, the guys woke up, they don't like us.
Jesus.
But if you think about it, by the end of the 5th game, which will be the 3rd game that we're going to play, technically the 4th game, by the end of that game, there is a huge plot hole that's left open, and it's very clear that he ran out of time, he ran out of money, and Konami, I mean, don't get me wrong, Konami's a bunch of motherfuckers for the way they treated the whole situation, but he wasn't able to finish his game. Speaking of important characters, by the way, but the end of that game and the way that game was built basically kind of pretty much proves their point. Because I mean, he shipped a game, but it's not finished. There's a whole huge plot point that's left open that will be explained when we get to that point. Because it's important to the rest of the series. It's extremely important to the rest of the series. But yeah, in terms of these games, this is like this wasn't this game, despite the fact that it is an epic story spanning 60 years.
More than 60 years.
It was not there. Yeah, but there was no grand master plan. There was no, hey, we're gonna tie all these threads together in these games. There was literally, oh, this would be cool in all these games, and here's all this dumb nerd shit that we're putting together into a game and throwing all these crazy plot twists, sometimes for the sake of plot twists. And Metal Gear Solid 2 will have a lot of those. But yeah, when these games were made, there was no overarching story. So if some of it does seem inconsistent, despite the fact that they are all tied together, and you have any questions, please put them in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them. Because there is some fucking trouble here. So this kid is super fucking important. He's one of the more important. He's actually probably, I would say, the second most important character in this entire series, next to Snake on the screen here. and you'll fucking see why. He's in almost every game.
Almost.
He's in like every game but
Rising
3. He's not in Rising. He's not in Metal Gear. I think he's kind of in Metal Gear 2.
Oh yeah.
And he's not in Peace Walker. I think he's in Peace Walker as like a special unlockable, like an Easter egg.
But it has nothing to do with the story.
Yeah, he's not actually in Peace Walker. But yeah, so this kid's got a lot more going on than he seems, and like, not trying to spoil anything, even though just the fact that I said that does give a lot away. Just be interested in this guy, even though he's kind of a
fucking weirdo.
Even though he's kind of a goddamn dumbass. Yeah, he's a fucking weirdo in this game, and it's great. It's great. It's the stupidest shit. He's just a dumb kid.
Look at this stupid anime shit.
He's a 19-year-old kid in this game, and he's a fucking major. And that's going to cause problems for anybody who's dealt with any sort of military, not hierarchy. Yeah, hierarchy is a good
chain
word
of
for
command.
it. Yeah, any military chain of command is like, all these guys are like, I worked 40 years to get to this fucking place I'm at now, and they put this 19-year-old piece of shit with a pistol in charge of me. Oh, look, he just fucked up, and this guy's gonna rape him now.
Boom!
I mean, not really, but... This is your first demonstration of CQC, which in every game that was released after this, not chronologically, but every game that was released after this one, is a very important part of the game. And this game actually, I think, except maybe for the exception of 4, has the most in-depth CQC options available.
Yeah, 4 was...
And a lot of it has to do with the inventory system. Just the fact that you can do CQC with snakes. Like, you can capture a snake and throw it at a dude and then grab him and then throw him at the snake, and the snake poisons him.
Hey,
and
look
shit.
at judo throw.
It's super dumb. You're going to see a lot of that. It's actually funny. Later on in the game, one of the main antagonists mistakes what he's doing for judo, and then somebody else calls him a dumbass. You remember that part?
Sort of.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's awesome. See?
You like how he swung at him with the pistol that he wasn't able to fire. So I'm gonna hit you with this.
Well, shit.
It's the equivalent. It's the equivalent of the quote unquote, and this is not my words. This is the words of the show. The quote unquote ignorant savages that they always seem to have to deal with in Johnny Quest, shooting the pistol until it's empty and then throwing the pistol as the guys run away. There's a show called The Venture Brothers, it was the first couple seasons were funny as shit. It's kind of this like goofy hipster take on old Hanna-Barbera cartoons, and there's an episode where that happens, where they're shooting the pistol and then the guys throw the pistol, and the one guy turns to the other guy and he says, hey, why the fuck did you do that? And he's like, well, it seemed like a cool thing to do. And the guy's like, well go get it. Because you're gonna have to pick up the pistol when after you throw it. So stupid.
Was the stupidest.
So this sets up CQC, but it also sets up the fact that I mean, at this point you don't know anything about this guy, but you set up the fact that he is not a man to be fucked with.
Nope.
Which, I mean, it kind of sets the base power level for badasses in this game, which you will see later. It's like, oh well, all these other guys are of a badass relation to this guy in relation to blah 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 blah. And then tires. I don't know what I'm fucking talking about. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. I thought, yes, nanomachines. Which we're gonna have a big discussion about nanomachines and supernatural bullshit later on. Yep. We're gonna have to have a discussion about that, and it kind of goes back into the whole Kojima making it up as he goes along thing, but we'll get to it when we get to it.
By the way, CQC stands for Close Quarters Combat.
Close Quarters Combat.
For those of you who really don't care to look it up or just don't know.
Yes. It's kind of explained rather heavily. The other games had a melee combat component to it, but before this game it wasn't really.
It was just punching and kicking.
In this game they give you fucking options.
Yep.
All right.
And believe it or not, CQC is a real thing. but it's more closely related to Sistema, or the system in Russian.
I don't know what that is. You're the martial arts guy. You're gonna have to explain that. I'm just a jackass who talks shit about
shit. No, it's a Russian martial art. It's like it's hand to hand, of course, grappling, knife fighting, and firearms training.
Yeah, very cool.
But the CQC was the American version. I want to say.
Yeah, there's your CQC right there.
Bitch.
So I'm gonna postpone the story here for a second to talk about CQC, because it's all based off of one or two buttons here, and usually it's all based off of the melee attack button, and it's kind of this branching system that gives you all these different melee options in battle, from punching a guy to doing judo throws that knock them out to grabbing them, at which point you can interrogate them and shit like that, or just stab them in the throat. It's actually a very, very cool system. And